must come to an end. Not only did Caitlin Clark take over Chicago,
the narrative surrounding Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in the WNBA has transcended the court, evolving into a cultural phenomenon that captures the intersection of sports, celebrity, and public perception. In late July 2025, the Indiana Fever faced the Chicago Sky in a game that was less about basketball and more about a seismic shift in the spotlight. This wasn't just another matchup. It was a moment that crystallized the dynamics of a rivalry that has gripped fans since their college days at Iowa and LSU. The events of that day in Chicago, coupled with the broader context of their careers, paint a vivid picture of two young women navigating fame, competition, and the weight of public expectations in a league hungry for stars. Caitlin Clark's arrival in Chicago for the Fever Sky game was nothing short of a spectacle. Fans didn't just show up. They swarmed. The United Center, a venue steeped in basketball history, buzzed with an energy reminiscent of Michael Jordan's prime. People lined up for hours, some waiting up to 3 hours for a chance at Clark's autograph. Jerseys dotted the crowd, posters waved frantically, and phones captured every moment. One fan, in a scene that became emblematic of the day, sprinted from the nosebleeds with a bloody nose, desperate for a glimpse of Clark. This wasn't orchestrated hype or a manufactured moment. It was raw, organic fandom, the kind that can't be bought or staged. Clark, the Indiana Fever's standout guard, didn't just play a game. She commanded the city's attention, turning Chicago into her stage. Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky's rising star, was supposed to own this moment. This was her city, her turf. Just weeks earlier, during the WNBA All-Star Weekend, Reese had been the focal point, her Reebok campaign plastered across Indianapolis, her presence dominating the narrative. She was the Reebok queen, a marketable force with a personality that resonated with fans. But in late July, the script flipped. As Clark soaked up the adulation, Reese seemed to fade into the background. Reports surfaced of Reese leaving the court visibly emotional, her body language betraying a frustration that went beyond the final score. Social media amplified the moment, with clips of her exit circulating alongside captions that speculated about her state of mind. The contrast was stark, Clark basking in the love of a city that wasn't hers, while Reese, in her hometown, appeared sidelined. The game itself was a blowout, with the Fever dominating the Sky 93-58, as reported by multiple outlets. Clark's performance was stellar, a 20-point triple-double that solidified her place on the WNBA's career triple-double list, tying her with Candace Parker for third all-time. Reese, meanwhile, posted a respectable double-double with 12 points and 17 rebounds, but it wasn't enough to keep pace. The Fever's offense, led by Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and off-season acquisition Natasha Howard, overwhelmed Chicago's defense, which shot a dismal 29.1% from the field and 22.2% from three. A third-quarter skirmish, where Clark's foul on Reese was upgraded to a flagrant, and both players, along with Boston, received technicals, added fuel to the narrative of tension. Reese's reaction, caught on camera saying, "What the F is wrong with you?" wasn't just about the foul. It was a moment of raw emotion, a glimpse into the pressure of being pitted against a player whose star power seemed to eclipse her own. This rivalry, born in college during the 2023 NCAA Championship when Reese's LSU defeated Clark's Iowa, has followed them into the WNBA. That game, marked by Reese's "You Can't See Me" taunt directed at Clark, set the stage for a narrative that refuses to fade. Clark got her revenge in the 2024 Elite Eight, eliminating LSU, but the story didn't end there. Their matchups in the WNBA, 5 scheduled for 2025, including the season opener on May 17th, have become must-watch events, drawing record viewership. The May 17th game, for instance, averaged 2.7 million viewers, peaking at 3.1 million, making it the most-watched WNBA game in ESPN's history. The numbers don't lie. Clark and Reese move the needle, but Clark's pull appears stronger. Her games consistently sell out, her merchandise tops charts, and her presence drives TV deals. Reese, while a star in her own right, often finds herself measured against Clark's meteoric rise. The Chicago game in late July, however, was about more than stats. It was about perception, branding, and the intangible it factor that separates stars from superstars. Clark's ability to command a crowd in Reese's hometown felt like a takeover, a sentiment echoed across social media. Hashtags like #Chronothorac and #TrapTaken proliferated, with fans and commentators alike framing Clark's dominance as a personal affront to Reese. The narrative wasn't just about who won the game, it was about who owned the moment. Clark, with her effortless charisma and MJ-like aura, seemed to claim Chicago as her own, leaving Reese to grapple with the fallout. Adding to the drama was Ice Cube's unexpected entry into the conversation. The rapper and Big 3 basketball league founder made headlines by offering Clark a $5 million deal to play in his half-court league during the offseason. Clark declined, opting to focus on her WNBA career, but the offer sparked a firestorm. Why wasn't Reese offered a similar deal? Cube's response was blunt. With Caitlin Clark, we saw millions unlocked. That wasn't the case with Angel. Business is business. The statement, while pragmatic, stung. It wasn't just about the money. It was about market value, public draw, and the harsh reality of who brings in the eyes. Cube doubled down, emphasizing that he wasn't in the business of losing money. For Reese, already navigating the shadow of Clark's fame, this was another public comparison she didn't ask for. Social media didn't hold back. Fans of Clark celebrated her as the WNBA's golden child, pointing to her viewership numbers, sold-out arenas, and sponsor appeal. Reese's supporters, meanwhile, defended her brand, her double-doubles, and her undeniable presence. But the narrative was relentless. Clark was the spectacle, Reese the competitor. Posts on X highlighted the disparity, with one user noting, "Caitlin is the most searched basketball player, highest merchandise sales, largest viewership and engagement across all social media. You'll never have her motion." Another post questioned whether Reese was avoiding games against Clark to dodge the inevitable comparisons, a theory fueled by her questionable status for the July 27th game due to a back injury. Clark, too, was sidelined for that matchup with a groin injury, robbing fans of another chapter in their saga. The rivalry's intensity stems from its roots in college, but it's been amplified by the WNBA's marketing machine. The league has leaned into the Clark-Reese narrative, scheduling their teams to face off 5 times in 2025, including a primetime Rivals Week matchup on August 9th. The Fever's 3-1 record against the Sky in 2024, coupled with Clark's statistical edge, 20.5 points, 10 assists, and 6.5 rebounds per game compared to Reese's 13.5 points and 13.3 rebounds, has tilted the on-court narrative in Clark's favor. Off the court, the gap feels even wider. Clark's games are televised on major networks, her jersey sales soar, and her name dominates headlines. Reese, despite her own endorsements with brands like Reebok and her fashion magazine covers, struggles to escape Clark's orbit. Yet Reese isn't without her own strengths. Her double-doubles, her rebounding prowess, and her unapologetic personality have made her a fan favorite. She's a legitimate star, averaging 13.8 points and 12.5 rebounds through 22 games in 2025 before her injury. Her versatility, as Sky coach Tyler Marsh noted, is a priority, with Reese expanding her offensive game and showing flashes of brilliance. But the constant comparisons to Clark, fueled by media, fans, and even sponsors, have trapped her in a narrative she can't fully control. Every move she makes, from cryptic social media posts to on-court reactions, is scrutinized through the lens of this rivalry. When she declined to be interviewed for a book about Clark's impact on women's sports, fans pounced, accusing her of jealousy. When she missed the July 27th game, speculation swirled about whether it was strategic. The truth, though, is more nuanced. Reese doesn't need to be Clark to succeed. Her game, her brand, and her story stand on their own. She's the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 450 points and 450 rebounds, a testament to her skill and work ethic. But the public's obsession with pitting her against Clark has turned every matchup into a referendum on their respective legacies. It's not just Angel versus Caitlin. It's the Sky versus the Fever, Chicago versus Indianapolis, and the expectations of a league banking on their star power. The WNBA's decision to move the Sky's home games against the Fever to the United Center, a historic first, was a direct response to the demand for Clark-Reese matchups. The league knows what sells, and right now, Clark is the bigger draw.